Hello my crafty friends, it's Krista here from Second Chance Creation. I'm just going to have a quick cup of coffee. It's early Sunday morning here in Australia, and I'm just like to share and present to you a special journal, and it is very special, and I'm not sure whether I will want to list it in my shop yet or whether I'll just keep it with me for a while. And as you all might know, when I was away for 2.5 weeks, I was at our friend's place, and my friend was very, very sick. And but she's at peace now and out of pain, which is a good thing. And during the time, all I took with me was a bag of scraps, but I wanted to make like a boho gypsy type journal, and but I wanted to make a cover, and I thought what better way to use up just a lot of my scraps. And that's all I took with me, a needle, a thread, and just scraps of fabric that would go with the theme. And little did I know that what I was going to make, because for a couple of days I just sat there with all the pieces in front of me, because she was in hospital, and so was the husband. He was by her side 24/7, and we just stayed at their property and looked after the property. So my mind wasn't really there where I want it to be. But anyway, little by little, it all sort of come to me. And I finally finished it. It's more a writing journal. It's not jam-packed with tags and stuff. There is some pockets in there and that, but it's more a writing journal, but it's just filled with a lot of goodness and yumminess and trims and blings, because when I packed my bag, I put in a whole bag of trims and whatever, and appliques and with me as well, but only various coloured cottons and my needle book. So I'll just stop blabbering on now, and I'll just show you this beautiful, and this is actually a boho journal. I've made gypsy journals, but I think this lends itself more to a boho journal. A lot of things that are on here from my stash, and also that have been gifted to me over the years, and I'm finally getting to use them. The closure is a satin scarf that I tore up, of course, and I sealed the edge, the torn edge, over the candle, the heat, and so that won't fray, because I didn't have that done, and I thought, oh, I couldn't, you can only handle frayed edges for so long, but if you're going to use it as a closure, you really don't want it to be fraying all the time. So, and on here I have a beautiful heart. It's just I don't think it's glass. It is heavy, it's worn, it is an op shop find, and I thought that really looked really cool because there is black in here. And then I found this little pouch as well, and it's probably a little purse. I thought, oh well, I might just put that on there as well. It just looked too cute not to be used. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to open this right up so that you can actually see it. Okay, and has this got, did I do a hidden spine? I can't remember. No, I didn't. I must have done a hidden spine here. I think I did. So this is the whole piece. Isn't this just beautiful? So each piece of fabric I actually hand stitched together. Okay, I'm going to bring this up closer so that you can see. And with very fine cotton and needle. And then, of course, I tore apart the fabrics that I had with me that had all these pieces of bling. It was a top, and I've very delicately cut it out and then hand stitch this on as well. I had a top that had all these appliques on there, and I've just fussy cut them out and hand stitched these on as well. I mean, the person that is really good at hand stitching is Sonja Steptoe. For those that don't know her yet, you need to go over her channel, and I've learned a fair bit from her as well. And I used a lot of French knots here, okay, from some of the fabrics that I just wanted to add some detail to it. Some more French knots. Love making French knots. Probably the only really embroidery stitch I really am comfortable with, hand stitched. And of course, when I came home and I was using it to make the cover, some parts were frayed, so I actually glued those little bits on there with glitter glue, and so they won't fray anymore. But yeah, it's all hand stitched. Okay, sorry I wasn't in frame. Bits of braids on top of lace trim, more French knots, and I had some little glitter yarn, which I thought was just perfect. Actually, I might just get it and I'll show you. I just use this, okay, and yeah, I just use that for the French knots. Come out really perfect. And then this little trim here, I've just put some more French knots. This came out of a big book that was like a sample furnishings fabric sample swatches in it, and it had this little trim. I've got a couple left, and a bit of braid here. No, that was an elastic trim. Some more of that lovely applique. This is now there was a, where was that piece? That was a tie, men's tie. Okay, I don't think I even put it on here. This was part of a dress. This was a dress. This was a top. I can just about individually tell you what the pieces were made of, because I've had them so long in my stash. So yeah, so that's the cover of it, and then I just added this lovely big fringe on the top. Okay, so let's venture inside. Just some pieces coming out here, and of course I've done a lot of edging, sewing some ruffles. Some are glued, some are stitched on, some beaded trim I've had for so long, you know, but I've used some of my painted papers. So let's go in. I'm sure that you're eager to see the inside. And yes, this is a hidden spine now that I remember. It has 2 signatures, and each signature has some heavy cardstock that was gold. And what I actually did, I just used my little sanding block to take some of the gold off, because it was super shiny. And then I just put let me see, I was going to put gesso on it, but I didn't have gesso at the time, so I used my colour chalks and just rubbed over the rough patches. Okay, just to give it a bit of a stressed look. And the same with this pocket. It was really bright gold. Yes, I've got bright gold in there, but the paper. So I just stressed it a little bit and just put a bit of ink. I'll just rub the ink over the top. Bookkeeper's note just in here. My little ruffle here, bit of trim. This is my vintage wallpaper, so I lined the inside with vintage wallpaper. Here's a little pocket, and what I've done is I've actually stitched that seal on there, because I didn't, when I glued it on, it came off, so I actually stitched it on. So there's a pocket in here. I don't think I'll put anything in there. No, so you can put a little note in there or something. Okay, so that just goes back under there, so that won't come off for sure. Here I've just made a belly band, and this is just one of the tags that I made. Okay. What this was a one of my efforts of painting cardstock, and it's all chalk, because what I did was I put glue over the top, and then I used my chalk and grated that over the top, various colours, and then brushed it, and it gave that effect. It looks really cool. This is just a magazine snippet. I just did a bit of collage there, and that just tucks in here. So sorry about the length of this video, because I'm sure it'll take half an hour. This I've printed out, okay, because I needed something in here as well, and I used just some of my scraps paper. Here, this beautiful coffee dyed paper from Paper Inspirations here in Australia, Sue, and at the time I didn't have any, so I just ordered some and to support some of the local Etsy stores here in Australia. And because I don't have any of this to make these beautiful papers, and that just lended itself really nice in this journal. So I found this. These are little painted wooden beads. It was a really long necklace, and I've had that for a while as well, and I pulled it apart and I've just added that on there. Punch some little hearts out so that you can actually see some of the coloured paper through there. I'm just going to have a look to make sure you see that. Oh yes. Okay. So most of the papers that I used in here are from Paper Inspirations. Now it says beautiful. And these are my painting papers. I'm finally getting to the end of them. I've been trying to use them up. Here's my little snippet, and again I even sewed this while I was away, because when I realised I was making this, I made about 2 meters long snippet strip to be able to use as well. And another little gorgeous little heart, paper ruffle. Some pages I used fancy scissors. I think this was out of a magazine or something, I can't remember. And here's just a envelope, and you can just journal in that, and then you can keep going and you can just journal on that. I tried my hand in making some envelopes with my I finally have one of these. Oh, that makes life so much easier, especially with the corner punch as well. And this ruffle is absolutely beautiful. I have quite a bit of fabric, and someone asked me a while ago, so I might just make some. And again, some of these fabrics, I just did a bit of singeing with a candle just to stop most of the fraying. Oh, that's come off. So yeah, so I've just, did that come off here? No. Yeah, so I've just used some various snippets here. Look, isn't this lovely paper? And then, of course, all the hearts that I cut out through the book, through the journal, I should say, I'll just glue them on here on the centre of the signature. Like I said, it's more of a writing journal. And then, you know, you have areas where you can maybe glue a photo or put something on there, because I've got some cardstock throughout. Yeah, I've just used a bit of a fringy. This was the only piece I had left, so I might as well use it. This is an altered paper clip, okay, which is my tickets. And then I had some of this glittered piece, and that's actually, you can actually, I think you can take this off. I think you can take this off. Oh yes, you can take this off and stick it somewhere if you like, or you can keep it and journal on the back. Beautiful pom-pom trim. I've had this quite a while, and I've actually used it a lot for my cushions in my bedroom. And another punched heart. Some of my painting papers. I'm getting to the end, but you know that. And here's some more. This one I actually machine stitched down just to make sure it stays intact. Here's another one of those pretty little hand painted hearts, wooden hearts. It's a gift bag that I just tore just to show the tag that I made on one of my collage papers, strips. Okay, you can only just see it, but the behind is, the back of it is really cool. It's probably a gypsy wagon, or it could be a boho wagon, but I think this is more boho than gypsy. Used a belly band here, and this is the end of the first signature. This beautiful journaling card was in some happy mail from Kristina's shack, and I needed something to put in here, and of course, you know, I just couldn't think, and I thought, oh, I know a perfect one that would fit. And what I did is I just coloured a little bit purple inside and added a piece of fabric. So thank you, Kristina. It just goes in here. And here I did a, what was that? I think that was a printout of something, I can't remember, and I just glued on some cardstock. And it holds a, 2 envelopes that are glued together, and it's got pockets so you can pop something in there. And I've actually glued some of the appliques that I used on the front cover on here. That just pops back in here. And then under here you have another pocket, and in here I've popped in another little envelope. As you can see, I got carried away, that you can journal on. Another pocket. This was a gift bag, and I've just made a little journaling card. A friend of mine gave me a whole stack of this, and I think she even gave me the thing to make them and the twine, but I have no idea, and I have to ask her what you call it, because I'd like to Google, YouTube it and just see how to use it. So, and she lives in Queensland, so if you're watching this, Beverly, I need to text you. Here I've made a top tuck, and I've put another notepad in here, so it's got lots of journaling space in here. Lovely little trim. Here's some more of my snippets. Paper ruffle, another pretty little bead. Okay. Wooden heart, I should say. Here I've put on just a really nice sort of, you know, beader trim, and this is a tag on a braid, so you can swing her over, and you can, you know, journal on the back if you wish, or you can take it off, or you can use it as a tuck. Well, no, you can't take it off because I've covered the metal piece, so it'll just have to be a secret little journaling spot for you. Okay, there it is. And you just journal on that, and then just hide it away again. This is just a collage from a magazine pages. I've just put various pieces of magazine in here, pages, and this is a piece of washi tape that was on some happy mail. I made a few of these, and I've got them in my, just sort of on hand when I need some, and all I did was stitch around it. Another heart, so you can actually see the colour through there. Oh, some more of that lovely pom-pom trim. This is my coffee dye paper, and I had some lace dangle that I put on top, and that's how that came out. There. And another pocket, and this is just a little booklet, some papers in there, and just stitched on. Beautiful coffee dyed paper. Here I did make a pocket, but I ended up tearing it, and I made this little journaling card, and this was a children's ABCD, you know, alphabet card, and I covered it up and left the red, but I sanded the edges because it was glossy. Sanded the edges. This is paper stock, and this is just a printout from Pinterest. And then I just covered it with packaging paper, and sanded the edge as well. And this is a piece of paper from an office, and I've just kept them, and I just coffee dyed. And then, of course, on the back you've got another tuck here, and that's just a journaling card with a snippet. It just goes on the back just here. Oh, yeah, just there. This is my attempt of, I had a felt placemat, and I've just put that on there when I coffee dyed it. This is still Paper Inspirations. Paper Inspirations, beautiful paper, how she did that. The centre of this signature is actually an envelope, and so you've got pockets in here and some more journaling items, envelopes, and I've just put the altered paper clip just on here to keep it closed. Here's a little, see, I told you I got carried away making these little envelopes, and I embossed this paper, but again it was so bright I just, you know, inked it up a little bit. And here are some of my decoupaged tickets, and you can actually journal in these. Okay, make little notes in there or something. Just there. And they just go in here. Decoupage book page, and in this I have one of my altered painted papers made into a bag or envelope, and it's from an office that we worked in. Doesn't have relevant information on there, so it's safe to use. And another journaling card where I've put on my fabric strip, and then you can put that wherever you like. That just goes in here. Here's another. See, more envelopes. I really got carried away. Practice, practice, practice makes perfect, isn't it? Another wooden heart. This is pretty. Okay. And I just used some twine that I've frayed up, and another heart here. Here's one of my coffee dyed papers. Here I've just made a little corner tuck and another paper pad, and just tore that up a little bit. Bit of snippet of fabric here. Cute little butterfly here. This is actually an applique, and I've decided not to put it on there. I've just put it on there with a safety pin. So if you can use it, you can always take it off and put it where you like. Piece of snippet. You can probably use this as a bit of a tuck as well. And that's the end. And this was, I think this was paper stock, and it's got a pocket in here. It's got just a little card that I just inked up a little bit here. And the back of the last signature, I've made another pocket, another writing pad. And then on the back, I folded the fabric over. I didn't want to cut it. There's that beautiful wallpaper, vintage wallpaper. So I made a pocket out of it. And I had this writing pad, and I thought, oh, how cool was that? It was quite big, it's quite long. So I cut it off and made to make it fit. And I've just popped some holes in there and used some seam binding. So you can even add or take off whatever you need. And that just pops in the back here. And that's the end of that one. So yeah, so if you are interested in purchasing this, just message me, but I'm not sure whether I have to think about it for a couple of days, but I just wanted to share it with you. And it's just beautiful. Probably a lot of feel and emotions went into the cover, and maybe that's why I feel a little bit hesitant of selling it. But I don't journal very much, and I'd rather share it with someone that loves it, and as much as I do. All right, folks, rainy today, which is great because I've threw some fertilizer on our lawn yesterday. knowing full well it was going to rain today so that it'll soak in for spring. So yeah, so thank you very much for watching. I'm going to leave my link to my Etsy store below if you haven't visited my store. And also I'll put in the link for Kristina from Kristina's Shack and Sue from Paper Inspiration as well. All right then, until next time, you know what you've got to do. Happy crafting. Most importantly, stay safe. Bye for now.